Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we have a unique episode as we actually aren't reviewing any kits for IDs. We are doing in fact 2 egos today. So this is for the Wailing Frog. I know that a lot of people have been wanting Wailing Frog egos for some time. It looks like we're finally getting those in the form of Sinclair and Honglu. And do keep in mind as we go through this is only first reactions and first impressions. The actual functionality and use of the ego may be different or may be better or worse than what I predict because we don't have the actual numbers and we don't have our hands on them. So, without further ado, let's get going. Immediately, Gloom, 1 coin each. Before attack, gain highest resonance minus X attack weight. That's really nice. I mean, resonance teams are getting far more popular. Generally, they're a lot stronger now, especially with more of the recent teams being added. So, more resonance is always good, and resonance equating attack weight. I mean, that's just free. That's just free. It's very nice. It is Zayn, too. We'll make a note of that. Sinclair doesn't have too much competing for egos, mostly because of a certain ID in Claire, where you actually don't want really big ID or very big egos on those teams because he'll corrode at least once or twice in a long form fight. So something that only hits one person is usually preferred. This one is attack weight, so maybe when he corrodes, you maybe do not want to have resonance during that to kind of minimize the amount of damage this does to your team, but we'll see. After the attack, apply X% of this unit's max HP as shield to self, and Y plus highest resonance minus Z allies with the least current HP, and apply in blubber bubble, that's a fun word, as well. If the affected unit already has Blubber Bubble, change the Blubber Bubble unit to X. At X plus highest Gloom Resonance, the skills above effects change to apply N plus Blubber Bubble, and change the Blubber Bubble value to X plus instead. Wow, lots of variables in this one. Shield. Okay. These are the first egos I believe we have that do shield to the team. We've only had healing egos before, but this is really good. So here's the thing. We all know that Fluid Sac is a must. Fluid Sac it's a take-all in every content because Faust Fluid Sac specifically is just so good that it's very tough to not bring Faust on a team just because Fluid Sac exists. If you are playing Mirror Dungeon, I actually don't think there's a single comp that I use that doesn't include Faust somewhere in there just because Fluid Sac exists. It's just that good. So this actually does something that Fluid Sac doesn't. Fluid Sac helps you heal up HP and SP, but of course, like, you already have to have damage taken to heal up the HP. So, I mean, you know, it's more after you've had a couple bad turns or this and that, you're in the beginning, it's a little rough, then you pop your Fluid Sac and then you get your guys back up to full HP. However, if you're already topped off, you're just doing it for the SP heal or to clash something, which isn't bad by any means, but you're kind of like losing a bit of value there because Fluid Sac is quite expensive of an ego most of the time. This actually does something Fluid Sac doesn't, which is this helps prevent damage from being taken. So I actually could see this being very strong depending on how much shield we get. Shield is something that has been kind of... it's tough. There's been a unique relationship with shield in the game for the most part. Like, defense skills are supposed to give you shield, yes. And I think we all know that besides the very recent example of Philip Sinclair, defense... the shield skill sucks. It's bad. I don't ever use it. I honestly think sometimes taking a clash at a struggling or hopeless can sometimes be better than doing a defense skill, because defense skills problems is that they usually don't provide enough shield to outweigh the damage. So in the best case scenario, typically you're going neutral. And then in the worst case scenario, like most of the time, if you're like fatal to the damage, which is probably why you're taking the damage in the first place and why you need to use a defense skill, the fatal damage just goes right through the shield. It'll not only do your entire shield, it'll probably do some more and may stagger you or get you down really low. And it's like, well, why did I shield in the first place? I should have just done an ego or something. And it's like, honestly, a little aside from me, I think they need to rework the shield defense skill. And I think they should make it to where if you do a defense skill of the shield variety, that it makes all incoming damage endured. I think that would help a lot to help make those skills a lot better, because right now they're basically dead on characters, except for rare situations such as the DC IDs, in my opinion, because they can actually make great use of shield and they get a lot of it. And also, the other would be, of course, Sinclair, who has like a base 30 or 40 rolled shield, which is honestly how it should work all the time, but that's just me. So with this in mind, the fact that this gives shield for free and could be giving the shield to the whole team or a majority of the team with resonance, I am very, very intrigued now. I wasn't too, I mean, I always liked the frogs, and the designs look amazing. I love the designs on these, but I wasn't like super hyped about them. Now I'm looking at these going, okay, I don't usually pull for ego, because most of the time it's not necessary. These I might pull for. These are good enough to where I want to pull for them, especially if the shield is like substantial. I want to take this into like comps, because I'm using Sinclair in a lot of stuff, or I'm using Sinclair as kind of that, like, you know, flex 6th spot on a team, unless it's like Blade Lineage, but Sinclair's already in that team, so it's fine. This is really great. Okay, so let me just go over the corrosion real quick. Oh yeah, targets randomly. Oh, who knew? Before attack, that still does the attack weight, and then also aggro. Okay, so not only does it do attack weight, but it makes you tank it, and then inflicts sinking, and then also gain sinking and sinking count. After attack, gain X plus Y highest res, percent of this unit's max XP as shield to self, and gain Z blubber bubble. And if this unit already has blubber bubble, change blubber bubble value to X. At X plus highest gloom resonance, this changes to gain Z plus and change value to X plus. And then at X plus gloom res, gain additional shield equal to X percent of this unit's max HP. Okay, this might be one you might want to corrode. Not only does it seem like all of the blubber bubble effects are amplified, which is a bigger shield, and you know you want all that, but also sinking and sinking count. Hey, that's just nice. That we know how good sinking is now that we have the mana IDs. We're still waiting on that last Heathcliff, by the way. I'm still saying it's Earl King. I know people are debating and saying it's not. I'm like, they're gonna do something related to Earl King, I think, just because that's like the most popular, one of the more popular iterations of that character, just like how Ahab was super popular. But it's kind of weird because yes, that ID specifically was like erased and all this and that. Okay, but still, just hand wave it. Just hand wave it. Give us just to figure out a way to give us Earl King, because it'd be really cool, or at least another really cool Manor Lord style of ID to compensate for that. But yes. Getting back on topic, sinking, very good. All the shield, also very good. Now, the passive. Turn start. If this unit has shield, gain protection. Really nice. If this unit is under blubber bubbles effect, gain additional protection. Even better. More defense on top of your defense. More shield on top of your shield. I love that. Nothing to complain about there. And now we finally get to read blubber bubble. This effect counts as shield management effect. Turn end, reduce count by 1, so it has a count to it. This unit does not lose shield at turn in as long as they have blubber bubble effect. That's amazing. I was going to ask. That's a persisting shield, is incredible. Even if this was just for like one turn, that would still be good. But the fact that it persists for count, or unless depleted by damage or other effects as well, amazing, amazing. What can I complain? This is really great. The shield affected by Blubber Bubble breaks doing taking damage, inflicts sinking potency. What? And count, potency / count against the attacker. How much of the potency and count is randomly determined? What? So it's also offensive? Am I reading this right? This is the first one. This isn't even the bigger one. This is the Zayn. This is the smaller one. So not only do we have a shield that is like, you know, gaining attack weight, and also giving a shield out to not only Sinclair, but also could be a majority of the team. Like, and also it's offensive, where if they break the shield, even if they break the shield, that you're inflicting detrimental effects like sinking on the enemy team. Even if you're not running sinking comp at all, you still get free sinking. Like, whoa, these egos are already looking cracked. Like, absolutely. And then there's still one more. This unit can sack its shield value by using this effect. However, as long as Blubber Bubble is in effect, the max shield value cannot exceed X% of this unit's max HP. Okay, so you can't just roll it forever, but max HP, most IDs are sitting around 200, around that area. Some more than others, of course, but I think around like the 200-ish area is usually where most IDs sit. Even if you're only getting like, let's say a quarter of that, you're getting 50 shield. That's... I'm okay. I usually don't get too excited about ego just because the nature of them being, oh jeez, yawning. It's tired. It's early today. I want to make sure I got these kit reveals to you as early as possible. Also means I get very tired. What was I saying? Oh yes. So just the thing that the way that egos are also just very rare, just in general, and also the fact that many of them, while can be very nice and can fit certain team comps, a lot of them aren't like necessary to have for most of the content in the game. I would look at these ones. I'm gonna craft out the gate, I think. Even if they only are like marginally good. Hell, just grab it and uptie 3 it. You know, if you know, maybe you don't have to uptie 4, but at least uptie 3 it. Like, any like team that runs Sinclair and Faust, which are a lot of teams, run both of them. And hey, guess what? Here's the thing too. Most teams struggle with the fact that if you cannot run Faust, you don't have fluid sack. Like take the burn team for example. Faust doesn't have a burn comp. She doesn't have a burn ID, so you don't really run Faust in that team. You're missing out on fluid sack. But now you have your Philip and Sinclair. Your Philip Sinclair can now give shield to everybody. So it's not the same as having fluid sack, because fluid sack is the most OP ego in the game. It's the best ego in the game, in my opinion, still. But you can run this on teams that don't have Faust, and you still have a defensive option that prevents you from taking big damage, and is also like a good sinking option as well, just for free. This is... yeah, like I said, I don't say this very often. This is going to be a transformative ego for the game, the game's meta. Depending how strong it is, it might become the meta. Because preventing damage is just as good as like not taking it in the first place. And hey, you know, if you're in a mirror dungeon situation, you know, you can get to a spot where you can turn 1 ego this every turn. Or every fight, or every turn even. So you're on floor 5, you're struggling, pop this every fight. Once every fight. By that time you have like a bajillion ego resources, you'll be fine. Just pop one every fight. and then you're good. You're just solid. I mean, it's still have to wait to see how much shield you get and how much protection it ends up giving you, but if this is anything close to like a Philip level shield, or even if it's just like 20 to 30, I see great things coming of this. This is only the first one. The first one! Alright, let's move on. I've been on this enough. Cavernous Wailing Honglu. This is a Teth. Is this one also... Oh, Trimmer. No, I don't want Trimmer. Why? No. No. Damn it. Okay, well, I'm a lot less excited about this one now. If this one was also shielding, I would have lost my goddamn mind. And I thought it would be like a new meta in the game, especially if you have both of them on. You usually have both of them on the burn team. But Tremor, I guess. Oh well. I guess it's fair. I mean, the Wailing Frog stuff is also Tremor besides sinking, so guess it does make sense. But I'm a little bummed. Okay, let's not cut it a little short. Let's see what we got first. Is a Tethigo. It's a single coin, as per usual with most of these. If the target has Tremor, deal plus X plus the sum of Tremor potency and count on target, divided by Y% more damage. Okay. Tremor's pretty easy to stack up, so, you know, big damage, big hit. At X plus resonance, or at X plus highest resonance, deal plus Y plus the sum of Tremor potency and count on target, divided by Z% more damage instead. Okay. Damage on damage. This is a damage ego for Tremor. I mean, good. I mean, look, I'll be honest. I have never run a Tremor team. I don't have one built. I don't really see that changing very soon. Regret Faust is the only thing I've come close to running as a Tremor comp. So take that what you will. So yeah, I don't really know how good it's gonna be, but I assume, like all the other effects in Mirror Dungeon, you can get these stacked up really fastly and you can cap them out really quickly. So hey, maybe this is a nuke skill, you know, big damage, hit him big. You get all your Tremor count and potency on him, and you're just popping things left and right, getting to that stagger easier with the Tremor. Yawning again. I'm sorry. Let's see what else this does. On hit, inflict Tremor and Tremor count. Okay, awesome. On hit, trigger amplitude conversion. That's a new keyword. Interesting. Into Tremor reverb. Okay. That's also interesting. I'm not sure I've heard of Tremor reverb before. I think that's different than the purple Tremor that Ophi gets. And then trigger Tremor burst, then reduce target's Tremor count. So I do always appreciate Tremor stuff that also does Tremor burst or procs itself. Always enjoy that in the same skill. So hey, look at that. You're going to get their Tremor count up, and then you're going to bring it down. But that should like negate exactly how much you brought it up. So basically it's free. Like you're not actually having to like utilize your Tremor resources for this for the most part. You may even inflict more than you put down, so it's positive. So, all right. Tremor nuke skill. Cool. Now, corrosion. If the target has Tremor, deal plus X plus the sum of Tremor potency and count on target more damage. Same as above. And that is, yep, same with the resonance, same as above. The newest thing is inflict Tremor, Tremor count, trigger amplitude conversion into Tremor reverb, trigger Tremor burst, and then trigger Tremor burst another time. So I'm guessing for the corrosion, you're looking for just bigger damage numbers and triggering Tremor burst twice, which is pretty strong. Will that be like vastly different than just hitting it with the regular one? Like, do you need a corrode for it? And that remains to be seen. I don't know. But, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Besides that, the passive is Gloominess. When this unit uses a skill to trigger Tremor Burst on enemy, inflict offense level down and defense level down on the same enemy next turn. Okay. All right. Now you've piqued my interest a little bit. This might be worth using on a non-Tremor team, just because of the fact that it's on Tremor Burst, which it does guaranteed if you hit. And, you know, defense level down, pretty good. You know, we like to see it, but offense level down is incredibly strong. You know, Chains of Others, you know, the frickin' eyeball for the ego gift that does I think it's offense level and defense level down on Tremor Burst as well. Stack that with this. Oh man, you're in Mirror Dungeon 4 or 5, floor 4 or 5, and like you hit something with this and it's just like it can't clash anything you're doing. Or at least I hope that's what's happening, you know. Don't know how much it's going to be, but even if it's like, what if it's -3, -4, -5 plus offense level down? That can't clash nothing. You're sitting pretty. Like you're hitting like a wet tissue and you can clash everything. That? Okay. All right. That might be really worth using. In addition to that, when this unit uses a skill, so I think that includes like the normal skills that aren't even this eco. That's the case. Those Honglu Tremor IDs. Damn, you basically have a mini eyeball just on your own. Look at that, easy peasy. All right, I'm interested. That's pretty cool. I'm you know, I hope to see that in action. I myself won't be using it, but I'll see other people use it. And then let's look at our Tremor Reverb. On Tremor Burst, take sloth damage equal to Tremor Potency on self. Okay. And then when hit by skills that trigger Tremor Burst, raise the stagger threshold by the effect's potency. Okay. And then turn and reduce the count. Interacts the same way as it does to other effects. Okay. So, okay. Tremor Reverb is basically a thing that just, yeah, makes them take damage equal to Tremor Potency on self, which is good. Just passive damage at the start of their turn. Or not on the start of their turn, on their Tremor Burst. And then, hey, it makes Tremor Burst do even more. So that's like really nice. Now I am curious. Forgive me for just a second. I'm just gonna go over to my other screen here, and I'm going to type in amplitude conversion. Okay. Right. Okay. I was actually incorrect. So, I knew it sounded familiar. So, amplitude conversion is just the general word they use that turns the tremor into something else. So for the Ophi IDs, it turned tremor into tremor decay, and for this, it's turning tremor into tremor reverb. So we have another type of tremor. So now we have decay and reverb. I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. We're going to be getting two distinct like types of tremor teams. Of some teams go decay, some teams go reverb, and maybe some teams just stick to regular old tremor. Maybe, or maybe this is just an indicator for things to come. Who knows? But for now, we'll just have to wait and see. And after all that jabbering, we are at the end of this video now. This was a long one, mostly because I got really hyped about Sinclair. I think Sinclair still is the winner out of these two. I am much more excited about Sinclair's than I am Honglu's, but, you know, we'll have to see. I'll never turn down having more ego on Honglu because he's just really good. So I like using him in a lot of places in the game. So, and, you know, if he can just make offense level and defense level happen on his own, or down happen on his own, then, you know, that's great as well. Do I would have preferred he had a shield ego like Sinclair's? Yes, but maybe this is for balancing purposes, because I think having two would be really, really strong, so maybe it's that. But for now, that is my kit reveal. And yeah, no. We'll have to wait and see what's next, but till then, thank you all so much for coming. As always, your support means the world to me, and I'm really excited with all the support that these videos have been getting. I love doing these kit reveals, so I hope you enjoy watching them. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!